Hey everyone, welcome to another GamersLedge Quick Bite. This time I'm joined by John. John, what game are you playing here?
I'm playing some Dark Souls 2.
So, Dark Souls 2 just came out again, this time for the PS4, I believe Xbox One. What's the full name of this one? It's a mouthful.
This is Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin.
So
Basically, it is... Oh,
no, go ahead.
basically, it's Dark Souls 2 with 3 additional expansion packs that were released on the original drop of the game, and all kind of wrapped up in one.
So I believe the biggest question that probably everyone will want to know is, you've done the review for Bloodborne on the site. Bloodborne obviously was a challenge, even with the vocabulary of playing Souls games from the past. Now that you've played Bloodborne, how does going back to Dark Souls 2 feel?
I'm definitely more offensive in every way that I play. I'm better at dodging, better at getting out of guys' way, and being less, traditional Dark Souls, Demon Souls game style was get in, hit what you can, get out. And I'm finding that I'm kind of rolling and dodging around guys more instead of just doing that hit and go move, which I like because it makes things a little bit faster paced, a little funner.
Which isn't a word, but
just kind of overall faster.
So for the most part, it looks like the graphics are a little bit better than what we saw on the PlayStation 3 version. But I wouldn't say it's light years ahead. Would you?
No, definitely not. No, I noticed in the opening cutscene how it was quite a bit better on the opening cutscene, but as I got into the actual gameplay, I really don't notice that much difference. I do notice the speed of everything is better. I've read and seen a lot of people comment that it does hold true at 60 frames per second, versus I think it was like sometimes down in the 20s and 30s on the original game. So that is it's going to be a nice change, especially when you have a lot of extra combat. When you're trying to dodge. Oh shoot! I can't use that yet.
You're still a weakling. You're still level 1.
Yeah, I'm baby right here. One thing that really threw me off is, as most players of these games, we know where every single guy is at, where they're going to come from, where they're going to jump at me from, and From Software was ridiculously sneaky and decided to completely change where everything is at. Certain bosses that were in certain areas are no longer here. Like in original Dark Souls 2, there was a kind of like a mini boss that sat in this area that you could take down for a new weapon. He is not here. There used to also only be about 4 or 5 guys in this area, and there's corpses everywhere. So as I'm trying to just roll through this, expecting to know where everything's at, I'm getting jumped left and right, and I don't like it.
So for anyone that might not be familiar with the Souls franchise, especially Dark Souls 2, give them a quick rundown of what the game style is, what your purpose and objective is, etc.
Sure. So it's an action RPG with like a strategy tactic-based kind of gameplay. Your goal is you're thrown into this situation where you're cursed, you're an undead, you're not sure why you're here, and you're just kind of thrown on this mission to try and break the curse. And you're not quite sure why. So your fighting your way through hordes of undead, trying not to get killed. As you are killing enemies, you gain a currency called souls, which is a form of level up currency as well as purchasing items from NPCs. It's really strategy and tactic based because even the lowest level enemy can kill you pretty quick if you're not careful and if you're not paying attention. Like that guy right there who's not normally there.
Oh, yeah,
is going to do some serious damage to me. Is he really?
Yeah. I haven't seen anybody out of place so far other than that knight. Now, one of the things that we should mention is as you die, which you will inevitably do, or backtrack through these areas, you're going to continue to kill these bad guys, we'll call them, over and over again. In this game, when you do that enough times, they actually stop respawning.
Yes, which actually is a good way to force people. I don't want to a good way to emphasize the multiplayer aspect of the game, because as you kind of use your area up and you're no longer able to farm it, the best way to level up, gain extra souls is actually to join other people's games and help them, and thereby getting more souls.
And if you're thinking about picking this up for multiplayer, realize that you cannot play with friends. It doesn't have that kind of traditional multiplayer. It is random multiplayer.
Okay, that is out of place right there, Mark. I have never seen an archer hit me from that ledge ever.
Yeah, he was on top of the ladder before.
Woo. Whoa. There we go. And I'm almost to my next checkpoint. Checkpoints are kind of spread throughout the game to allow you to be able to use your currency, regenerate health, repair broken weapons, and then also respawn areas. So after you've killed everything, you can then respawn that area to be able to go back through and farm it. I really like this game. If you're considering Bloodborne versus picking this one up, I like both very much so. This one is going to be more complex, more strategic in the way you build your character, from stat allocations to the type of weaponry and armors. You have the ability to be kind of tank-oriented, really heavy armor, heavy weapons.
And would you say this is easier or harder than Bloodborne?
I would say the overall game is probably more difficult, but the learning curve is a little bit easier to start with, where personally I found the learning curve of Bloodborne to be absolutely brutal. But once I got like 5-10 hours into the game, I thought the difficulty leveled off and it wasn't too bad. But with this, with Dark Souls, you see all these lit up glyphs on the ground. These are all the people that I can summon into my game to help me. I think the multiplayer of being able to have help is much more streamlined in this game versus than what it was in Bloodborne. So if you don't want to go it alone, you don't have to. And it's really simple to be able to pull people into your game.
Great. That's our quick bite on... what's the full name one more time?
It is. I have to pull the case out.
I know, because no one remembers.
Dark Souls 2. I know. Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin.
And it is currently $60, correct?
Yes, sir.
So $60 retail or digitally. Check it out on PS4 or Xbox One. And for everything else hard game related, keep it locked to GamersLedge.com. Game on.
Game on.
Yeah.